So, hi everyone, it's Olga Zar from SEO Sly. Today, I have a very special guest. Adriana is here, I think, for the third time or
Third
something like
time.
that. I'm
Every six
super,
months.
yeah, it looks like it. So, I'm super happy and super honored to have Adriana here because she's like, last time I announced her, I think I was saying she's a rising star. Now I think I can say she's a star in SEO. So, and I just wanted to talk about her recent story, the things that changed on her side, which is basically Adriana decided to quit her job, the job that seemed to be like a dream job, and definitely would be a dream job for many people. And I share a very similar experience to Adriana, so I think we can definitely talk about that and maybe encourage some of you from the audience to leap and to become more confident. So, Adriana, before I start interrogating you, can you like do a quick intro in case someone doesn't know you?
Yeah, definitely a lot of people doesn't know me. I'm
Okay.
not as popular as you are.
Oh,
So
I don't think so.
yeah, I know. So thank you so much for the stage. You actually helped me since day one. I was your guest like from my like I think first month as in my side job back then. I started like mindset coaching thing, and back then it was like around like 16 months ago. I was doing a head of SEO job, and then I was just sharing my story, how I end up from the frustrated and stressed SEO consultant, burnt out and everything, how I made up on the another side, much more lighter side, way I learned how to manage my mind, my stress, how to take control of my life, how to work smarter and like be less busy so I have like more fulfilled life. And then once I was doing that with my mindset coaches, then I decided just like, hey, this is something that other SEOs really need to know because like, mindseting is like kind of like negative in the any world, especially like SEO because like we are so like technical or something like that. So whenever we hear like mindset coaching, we are thinking about positive affirmation, blah, blah, blah things, but actually that is not like what I was experiencing and how I got this transformation. So 16 months after, I realized that actually that is my purpose, helping other SEO to work on their mindset, to become confident, to improve their work-life balance, and like just like feel good in their life because this life is crazy. So like at least we deserve to not be stressed 24 hours. At least if we can reduce it by like half, I'm perfect. Well, my clients are reducing even more because we are managing our mind how to do that. And it's not kind of like magic, it's trick. It's just like recognizing all these pain patterns, working with the inner child, traumas from the past, what we got from our parents, environment, cultures. And so now we are going kind of like box of all these like false beliefs to the world and just like stressing and shaking ourselves on daily basis. Quick and
Yeah,
tough.
like this is like already I have so many questions on my mind that I don't know how. So I managed to ask all of them. So, but what you are saying, what you're describing, it looks like a job for, I don't know, a psychologist, psychiatrist, a life coach, and someone else probably, and someone who also knows something about SEO. And you're saying that you now know that that is your life job purpose. Like people look for the purpose for their entire life and they never find it, and you found it, I would say, relatively fast after like after starting being interested in that mindset coaching, right? So after 16 months, right?
No, I was working on myself actively like for 2 years. It was like starting summer 2022. And even it seems fast for lasting like 15 years, I was doing so many different jobs, like starting as a basketball referee, working
Oh,
in a market, yeah, with in marketing agency, doing social media, doing PPC, doing SEO, and then like
oh,
working on myself and like actually seeing that like life coaching. What I'm doing now is actually very connected with life coaching, but my areas of expertise is like for SEOs because my knowledge and expertise coming from the last 5 years of SEO and towards mindset and like work a stressful situation that we are experiencing. Doesn't matter like if you are a freelancer, you own your business, or if you are working full time. because what I saw in my experience, I was working as a therapist, no, as a therapist, with a therapist, like long time ago. And it's great, I'm recommending everyone and everything. But what didn't work for me is because it was everything on head level, like they were telling me or they were asking me like, what is like right thing to do? And I knew what is the right thing to do, but I didn't feel it. Basically, okay, I know that I don't need to stress. I know that I don't need to stress about, for example, Google updates. And I couldn't explain to my therapist what the Google update is, because like they are saying, like, oh, it will pass. It's just like another stressful situation. And I was like, but no, like Google updates, like every few months, or the website is dropping. And she was like, and like, therapy is perfect, but maybe for some other areas of my life, maybe more from just some kind of like childhood, like traumas or like the problems that you are experiencing. But like work related, especially like SEO professionals, like we can't explain that like to the therapist, like what is how when you are presenting Google, when you are presenting SEO reports, how you are handling clients, like what to answer when client is saying like why we are not seeing results. I saw that gap there. And when I was working with the mindset coach, a life coach, like back then, she helped me to understand myself and my feelings. So once I started to work on my feelings, I was able to actually get relief from stress, from the anxiety back then. So I saw for me, maybe for someone else, therapists and psychologists will be better. But for me, and like I see a lot of like SEO people, this mindset coaching from the SEO perspective is working better, like for the certain people. For some, hugely recommending.
Definitely. So I would say like, so this is the therapist, the only therapist who understands what a Google update is.
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
can,
probably,
and can
yeah,
relate to that.
yeah, I hugely appreciate like therapists and like they have like huge area of expertise. I don't want to like take that credits. I
Sure.
just like I'm taking like the another perspective that it was working better for me, you know. And definitely what I'm seeing with my clients, because when they are explaining me the issue with websites migrations, the stress that they are experiencing, I feel them because like I was there
Yeah.
better than the therapist. Like therapists
Yeah.
can be better for all other areas, but when it comes to SEO related issues, I can say like I can feel better my clients.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. This is very important. So you help your clients navigate through like any like difficulties, difficult decisions, like any obstacles. And I guess many of them dream of becoming like independent, not having a boss. And this is the decision that you have made recently. So, and then which I made almost 2 years ago. So tell me, like, what inspired you to take this leap? Like, what was the thing that finally made you like do it? Because I'm pretty sure you were thinking about it before, but what was like the last thing that kind of pushed you towards that?
Mm-hmm.
Because you were recently, sorry, promoted. I remember to, yeah, as you said, to an SEO manager. So like you were climbing the ladder,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Everything was perfect. Um, yeah. First things first. Like I'm from Bosnia. Like in our culture, we are leaving our jobs never. Like doesn't matter like if it's good, if it's bad. Something that we have learned from our parents, from our culture. Your job is your security, is your financials. You can't think about like some kind of like freedom, fulfillment. No, like if you have a job, just like keep it. Don't be rude. Just be kind. If boss is bossing you, just like don't say anything. Just like be kind of like kind girl, boy, it doesn't matter. And like I was kind of like dreaming or quitting my job, but actually everything was unrealistic. Like I knew that I can left the job that I really like. Like all the income that I was living in Dublin back then. So basically, I'm not a rich kid. And my parents can't give me the money. I can't like like whatever I do for myself and like my living. So I'm providing for myself. So I knew that I can't leave my job because like what else I will do or something like that. Everything was like so scary for me. I was start just like shaking if I really think about it. So thinking about quitting my job wasn't an option, a real option. It was just like sometimes in my dreams, it would be very nice to leave my job, travel the world. But honestly, like I knew that I couldn't because like who is going to pay my bills and everything. When I started like coaching last year, I was thinking just like, okay, I will do my side job, like side hustle. I will work some extra time. Basically, I had that feeling I really need to share something that I knew with other SEOs. And I was starting posting YouTube videos. At first that was bad, and I was becoming a little bit better.
It was
Like how it
okay.
goes. Yeah, it how it goes. Of course, like you
Yes.
can't
Like you,
like pitch the like become a great like even speaker and everything. And then by the end of last year, I was thinking maybe I can quit my job, but again, like the thing with my job as a head of SEO was that I had great company to work for. Like my salary was great, and my job was secure. My team members were very nice to work with. I had the best manager I think I could, and it's not like the best in the like everything is great. I really had a support from that woman like for last like 4 or 5 years. I have no idea how many long. And like uh, I realized like why I'm leaving this job because everything is good for me. But then also I was feeling, yeah, like if I'm experiencing all these problems, Google updates problems, SEO reporting, handling different clients. I was working as a consultant, so back then I was having like 10 plus clients on weekly basis. So back then it helped me to actually whatever I'm coaching others to do, to firstly implement on myself how to do this. Like how to handle when you are having very mad client when we don't have like SEO results. So basically I was coaching myself and leading myself through this process because I knew that like if I'm doing that on myself, I will be better coach, like I can better share experience. And that was like for the first 6 months of this year. And then I was working on the exercise about my values because, like I started to have like a lot of more clients. It was taking my time. It was taking my energy. Still, I was working as a head of SEO. And then I realized I'm working too much. And my goal is never to have more money, to have some kind of like success, enormous, big, something like that. My goal personally is to work less, to have freedom, to travel, to be with my brother's kids, to be with my family, friends, because those are the values that I really value in this moment. Like maybe next few years I will be like different person with different values. That's totally fine. But in this moment, I really value time more over everything else. So I realize, okay, my full time is taking a lot of time from me. Also, I'm seeing that really this is my purpose. Like when I on my calls with the clients, I'm seeing like, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm not even like feeling that I'm working, like,
yeah,
and
that's the thing. Yeah.
and that is what really fulfills me, like, and I can have like 10 calls per day. I'm not doing that, but like I can talk about this like every day, every night. And then I'm deciding, okay, I really don't want to sacrifice my free time, my energy, my everything. And also I'm doing this for my clients. So basically I will quit and then like again coach myself to this process. So again, I can help my clients who are trying to do the same because basically I am walking the example how to do this, like, and even I'm mindset coach. This is not something that I'm still human. I'm still having these, oh, what if I don't have like clients? Who will pay my bills? Who will pay my loans? Who will pay, like everything for me? So I still have these thoughts. The difference between like me and another people is just I can, when I'm down, I'm going up faster. Like whenever I'm seeing, oh, I'm stressful, something is wrong, I know how to coach myself. So basically, I see what kind of like beliefs I'm believing in currently. I see that is just like not true. I'm seeing that like, like just all the brain patterns that are coming from my past came. I didn't recognize it and didn't catch that thought. So that is impacting my feelings. So I'm just like able to go faster down and like be in the I'm not like overly happy or not overly like I'm just like in that mood of peace. And whenever I'm
Mhm.
not in the peace, I'm coaching in myself to see like, hey, what kind of like negative thought came into my mind that I didn't realize. Also, I'm still working on my coaches. I'm investing in myself. I'm that is something that I saw that is like the biggest investment for myself, working on myself. Even like I'm able to coach myself, but I still want to reach the next level. But from that moment, that I can help others even more. And of course, if I'm saying others, like we really need to invest in our heads, like I'm the first one, like I'm example. I spent thousands in the last 2 to 3 years on different coaches, different certification about the mindset, just like to be ready, prepared to help others better.
Okay. So tell me, like, how did you feel right after you decided to quit the job? Like, tell me more about this
Mhm.
because this is the thing that.
Yeah, I think in the middle of June, I just got a feeling, yeah, I think this is a time. And that is something that I'm always recommending. If some of your decision is making you a huge stress, just like don't do it, because we don't want to stress ourselves even more. If I did that, like for example, 6 months ago, it would sorry, it would be so stressful for me.
Mhm.
But in June, July, like this year, it felt just like natural, like the feeling, yeah, it's time. And then I was just like checking with myself, like, is this really like what I want? Consequences, pros and cons, like I was leading through this process. Of course, every day a new thought, oh, you would be crazy. Who would be leading this job? This job is connected with your visa in Dublin. You did everything to move to Ireland from Bosnia. Who is coming back to Bosnia? Like you are crazy. But I was
Yeah, so for
realizing,
you, giving up
mhm,
that job meant that you have to or will or want to come back to Bosnia?
yeah,
Or was it
because
like, yeah, because of the salary or because of other reasons?
because of the visa, like I can't
Okay.
stay and work in Dublin without the full-time job that I'm
Okay.
having and like
Okay.
visa. So basically everything was connected to that job, like which made in one side the decision that is like even harder to make. But again, like I just felt it naturally because, like the decision was in back of my thoughts for a few months. Even I didn't actively like thinking about that, like it was something here.
Yeah.
So I can say that it was like so stressful that day when I was deciding, yeah, that's the day when I'm going to talk with my manager. I'm going to say, like I just don't see myself working as a head of SEO. I really want to do like this mindset coaching thing because also she's seeing me more as a mentor and like doing this because, like it's just after some years, you're realizing that what you really want to do. Um, I quit middle of July. No, June, July. I'm always my last day was end of July. So basically,
Mhm.
I'm around 30 days on
Into
my
that, yeah.
on my own, and like
Okay.
this is, I would say, like the most um, challenging period in the terms of how really mindset helped me to overcome this period. Like if I don't know how to manage my mind, I think I would just like go crazy on this because like I got so much free time. Like
Uh-huh.
basically from I don't know working 8 hours now I'm working 4, sometimes 5, but like like I'm listening some podcast, reading, writing some LinkedIn posts. It's kind of like it's not working. And then again, all patterns. Oh, you're crazy. You left the job. Just like call them and say like, hey, I just,
Sorry.
oh my God. Yeah, sorry. I was
I was
drunk.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was crazy. I was drugged. I was like drunk or something like that. And that is trying to come up. But since I'm coach, it's very great. And I'm making like journal about this because definitely this is something that is helping my clients. What kind of thoughts are getting on daily basis, like, why I'm crazy, like, and then it can impact my mental health. But since I need to, I think this is the month when I coaching myself every few days on the same topic because our brain patterns are so strong. So that is the reason, like,
Yeah.
why people still trying to and like they're repeating kind of like the same mistakes. They are having the same problems because if we're really not managing our mind, the same problems will just like come back.
Yeah.
Like, and like again, I'm just like human. I have some my bad periods. The only difference is actually I'm when I'm in down period, I'm just like faster going up because I know how to,
You
like,
have all the tools, you know
yeah, I
how
have
to.
all the tools. So it's great. I'm living with my mindset coach for 24 hours. So that's great.
That's cool. Okay. And what about, because this is, I think, the biggest obstacle for most people. What about the income? Like when you decided to resign, did you like have the money saved up, or did you have
Mm-hmm.
like enough clients for coaching that would allow you to like live
Mm-hmm.
normally, to survive basically? Or
Yeah.
was it like, I'm done, and I will see what I can do after that?
Yeah. I don't have like so much courage to do that. So it's not that. My safest way was when I'm having enough clients, like that I can live and like work for the next couple of months, even year. So basically that is something that I had as a backup. But interestingly enough here is, and a lot of people can see when we have a salary, doesn't matter, like 2,000. And then we are thinking when we are having bigger salary that we will say that we will even save more and that we'll feel safer when we have more money. But that is
It doesn't work like
that
that.
is a biggest trap, and that is mind trap. Like we connected the value of money with the security. And in my case, in a lot of cases, that is coming from our culture, from our parents, because like our parents and like close environment saying like just like save as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then when we start working, and 4 or 5 years ago when I started working in Dublin, I was having bigger like salary than I had in Bosnia. And then like my biggest goal was just like say more. Yeah, like get to more, have more clients, just like do more. And then I was earning 2,000, then I was earning 4,000, but my feeling of security was the same, even scariest, like because
You
we
have more to lose now.
more to lose. And that is just like the track that money is making security for us. Because if we are just like saving and we are not investing ourselves and we are buying some small things for us that will improve our quality of life, we can have like thousands on our bank account, but we will feel so miserable, like because that like and why we are working if we are not improving our quality of life and if we are not investing in ourselves. So yes, I had money in my savings, but definitely 2-3 years ago I had more, but I was feeling more scared three years ago, like.
Mhm.
So it's just like money mindset that we all have to work on, because that is holding us back on daily basis, because we just calculating over everything from the money and not seeing that actually we made that up, like there is no there is no secure job, money is not secure, like it can happen like everything. And if we are connecting our safety with the money, like we it's just like wrong,
Yeah,
like.
yeah. It's all in the head. I totally agree. I've been like a little bit interested in those topics for a while as well. So I can say, yeah, totally regarding money and security. Security is here, and the same is with happiness. You think that if you earn more, you will be happier because you will buy this, you will have that, but you will very quickly see that it doesn't work like that. And no matter how much you earn, at some point you will have to, I think, meet with yourself and face yourself and kind of answer yourself, what do you want? What's your purpose? Because it's definitely not making money. Because
Mm-hmm.
we can hear about stories about millionaires who commit suicides because they kind of chase the money and they then lose the purpose. So it's nice to define that purpose early, like at those earlier stages now where we don't earn millions and we don't have to get there to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
understand that, right?
Yeah.
So that's something.
Yeah, that is the whole topic, and I just like love it because like people and like SEOs especially, they don't want to talk about the money because that is something that is wrong. Like nobody's saying I want to be rich because there is a huge negativity around that. And then we have like so cheap like SEO prices, SEO service, like because we are not updating ourselves on the level of money mindset that we need to have on this stage in our life, in the career and everything. So a lot of common what I'm seeing across all my clients, something that I was experiencing is with like two things. You are even under earning because of the money mindset problems, or you are overspending. Like
Yeah.
sometimes when you get a bigger salary than you used to be, then like, let's buy this, let's buy this, let's buy a good car and everything. But just like stop and think why you need a good car.
Yeah. What does
Yeah.
it do to
What
you?
does it mean? And just like check, does it reflects on your kind of insecurities and what other people will think if you are driving Mercedes or if you're driving under like brand cards, and you will buy that car, you will spend a fortune, and then you will see that you are feeling the same as you
Yeah.
did before.
Yeah. The excitement will last for
Five
for a
minutes.
very short
Yeah.
time. Yeah. And then
Basically,
it
excitement will finish before the buying,
very often. Yeah.
That thing with the travelings, like we are more excited about travelings before than we are on the traveling, because when we are on traveling, like we are just like facing another challenges about like how to do this, or I'm just like then another brain patterns. Oh, I can't relax. I have so much work to do. Or I'm feeling guilty. I need to read this. I need to update my knowledge about SEO. And then we finish our vacation more tired than we came to that vacation,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we forget to be like present, right, in the moment. So be on those vacations and actually enjoy them. Yeah, so this is also something I have been exploring and trying to change with that being present, just being, not doing, being
Mhm.
happy with the fact that I am, not that I do. Which is
Yes.
which is like yeah, I've been like a lot of things were on my mind because I also like drove myself to the point where I was overworked a little bit, I would say even burned out. And finally, I made that decision that it's time to go solo. And I faced similar things that I love what I do. So it's easy for me to work 12 hours, but life is not just work. So
Mhm. Mhm.
it, it's definitely not the best way to spend all your days just working because, like, I think the regrets of the dying, one of the regrets of the dying is that they never regret working so hard. They usually regret that they worked so hard. Yeah.
Mhm.
So one of those things. Okay. So getting back to like you quitting the job, what would you say to people who are thinking about it, considering this, like you are the coach, so
Mhm.
tell me what to do, what to think, how to approach that.
Yeah. Definitely if someone when someone is asking me like when I need to quit and like is this like good time, we would check why he wants to quit. Like because there are so many different reasons and some reasons are not right reasons to quit because a lot of problems will not disappear when you're quitting your job. Even like more problems are coming that you need to be ready to face them and not just like be burnt out and like overly stressed and like anxious, even when you are leaving. So depending on the reason, do you want to have like more freedom, more money? You just like hate your job, hate your boss or something like that. Then we are defining kind of like plan what would be the most secure and the with the lowest stress level for you, like because we just don't want to burn you out quitting the job because again, like you really need to fix your problems in this current moment, not going to another moment where you face even like more problems.
But what about like because I am also like a runner and I know that at least in running it is very often recommended it is good to get yourself like into hot waters to
Mhm.
like cross the line which seems reasonable to become better. So you have to like stop liking your comfort zone because it makes you grow. So what about that if I could counteract? But it is okay to sometimes like dive deep into
Positive
deep
stress.
waters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that positive stress. But again, I hardly see people that are just like putting some small positive stress. Usually they are overstressed,
Uh-huh.
like 80, 90% of the year is just like stressing themselves about like different things. So my approach is not stress you more
Yeah.
because first step is to know how to handle your stress and manage your stress and put your stress to the at least like 10% of the day because if you're stressing yourself more than like 80% of the day, like something is wrong. So you
Yeah.
really need to work on your approaching the stress, And then once you know how to manage your mind, how to decrease the stress, just like having small step, then we can push you to another step, like let's quit. If I'm was quitting, for example, 3 years ago, I would just like die, or like it would impact my mental health so much. My anxiety would higher and everything. So my approach, I don't know, like what others, we are furtherly reducing the stress, like on daily basis, and then we are pushing further because we don't want to just like stress, hustle, like work harder, work more,
Uh-huh.
everything, because it's just like, burnout. And
Yeah,
like we
makes
didn't do
sense.
anything.
Yeah, makes sense. Like in my case, I was basically thinking about quitting, going on my own for, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years before I did that. And the first step towards that was to set up my SEO site website 4 years ago. And this was like the first small step. So yeah, I think I would also die if I did it that in
That's
this
the yeah.
aggressive way.
Yeah, that's the thing. The only way, like why I was so fast in this decision is just because of my mindset coach. So I know how to do this. But I really don't recommend anyone who is not into like mindset things. Like we can work, like, like you can be prepared for next 6 months to not be like overburned when you quit, because it's not better there than here. Like if you're feeling good in this position, then it will be okay even in the next position. Like it's the same when you are promoted from the SEO manager to head of SEO. If you don't know how to handle your problems in the SEO manager areas, in head of SEO, you will have just like more problems. Like if you don't know how to handle problems on lower level, definitely you will not know how to handle problems on higher level. Like, and then you are putting just like more and more stress. So, for example, you were thinking about quitting for 4 or 5 years, but for example, if you had a mindset coach, like any kind of other coach, doesn't matter. The only way would the time would be decreased, and you would feel like better with your decision. It's
I'm
just
not
like
sure
Mhm.
because like I also come from like the country where this money
The
people in
same
Poland
Bosnia.
do not earn a lot of money, even doctors compared to like other countries, especially like the US. So for me, it was simply not really possible to survive because I would have to, I don't know, live off my husband or
Mhm.
and we were building the house at the same time, so it would be like crazy to resign from a job while we are building the house. So even if I got all the courage, I don't think I could. It would be possible for me to do it earlier. But I
Mhm.
did it like a month after we moved in, basically.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned courage, because like I'm getting a lot of like congrats messages, oh, you have courage or something like that. But that is the thing. It's not about the courage. It's
Uh huh.
about like managing all the things that you think that you will not survive, or you think that you are crazy if you are quitting something. Like it's overcoming like that mindset and going further. That's the only difference between like me and other people.
Mm-hmm.
The time in making decisions, time from feeling bad to feeling good, time from negative mindset to positive mindset, time in the growing, like career is, in my case, is faster just because I have like all these tools and checklists how to overcome these kind of sabotaging thoughts and like blockers that are holding us back. Only that, like, I'm not magician. Nobody is. It's just like having and setting up properly mindset for great things.
Yeah. So like watching, observing your thoughts and feelings, and being even able to recognize those feelings. This was very very difficult. That still is for me. But this comes from, I think, cognitive behavioral therapy, right? This kind of stream of psychology. Am I correct?
And all these feelings and thoughts came from your past experiences, like culture, parents, environment. So you shaped your thinking in the way that you are thinking it's right because of the past experience, something that you are seeing, like, and that is the thing. Like, if my parents knew that I'm just like quitting my great job, they will think that I'm taking my drugs, like, because like that's the thing. Like, you are not quitting your job if you are enjoying and you have like great salary and you have like career. But I know that I can't live my values. I don't have my freedom. I can't spend my time like in the way I want if I'm doing like, like two jobs, or if I'm just like
Even
overworking.
one.
Yeah, even one. Yeah, even one. And you can't explain others like why you want freedom, like because like you're crazy. What kind of freedom?
Yeah.
Like just like work and like be safe. And that
Yeah.
is like overcoming. No, I just don't want to uh, uh, live and work. I want to just live, like, and like, because we don't know like how much time we have left.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's just like, like those are my values. Time with my family, friends, living in even like Bosnia, because like here is better weather. Even the life in Ireland is better in that way, like you can progress your career like even more, like you can achieve some great things. My values are more towards freedom, family, nice weather, like friends. So I can live my life in the way that feels and like suits me better. For someone else, probably they will think that I'm crazy, and like that's totally okay because other people have different values.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
the most important thing is to make decisions that are aligned with your values.
And to know what your values are in the first
Firstly,
place, because
yeah.
I think many people do not really know that, and it's key. Yeah, so I can like totally relate to that. And I think this is the reason, one of the reasons why I never like moved from Poland. I had like a lot of great offers back in the day when working online, working remotely wasn't so popular. And I kind of didn't really want to go that route because I am this type of person. I love to sit on my own alone with my headset. It was always very hard for me to go to the office and work in
Mhm.
an office. And many years ago, I read the article. It was like 10 reasons not to have a job. And this was like a crazy long article by my favorite blogger, Steve Pavlina. He's like also like talking about the topics you talk about. And one of the reasons I think he provided there was that having a job is actually the least secure thing you can do because you have just one income. You are totally dependent on this one income, and you are kind of the slave. And you can, like, your boss can basically anytime tell you goodbye, and you are just on your own. But if you are an independent consultant like ourselves, we have a bunch of clients, and it is highly unlikely that all of them will quit at the same time, right? So even if we look at that from that security kind of perspective, it still, I think, seems more secure to
Yeah,
to be on our own, right?
it seems that is like more secure, but like that is the thing that I'm asking like my clients, do you feel secure?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, the feeling is the most important. You can have no job and you can feel more secure than someone who has millions on
yeah.
in their accounts, right?
And of course, like we are not going into extremes, just like quit not doing anything, just like be a kind of like, on the street or something like that. But just like if if you are stressing yourself like mostly of your day, 80%, 90%, something is off, like,
Yeah.
and the most difficult moment is to understand that it doesn't need to be in that way, that you can make a change, like you can do something, work on yourself to reduce the stress. Like I can say that you will reduce the stress by 100%, but definitely by 60, 70%, just like by managing the mindset, you are able to, when you see different situations, to approach them differently, to react on the situation differently. Like when we were younger, that is like the most common example. When we were stressing about boyfriends, girlfriends, like, like why she didn't send us the message or something like that. But now we see a completely different world, like, and that is the
Mm-hmm.
same when our clients are not answering to you, when they are trying to ask you for a result, but you did try to explain them about some SEO implementation. They don't want to invest in SEO, technical SEO. And then you're just like stressing yourself about Google updates. The same is possible as the messages, like, back the same is possible for you, like, but most of the SEOs, they don't believe that they can change their lives, like
Uh-huh.
that is like and they think it needs to be like that, or I have a secure job. Doesn't matter if it's impacting my mental health. And like even, okay, it's impacting mental health, but like I will work on it like next year. Oh, I don't want to put some money on working myself, like it's safer to have it. Or I'm like so busy, I don't have like time to work on it. But like, do you have 1 hour on weekly basis to work on yourself so you can reduce the stress, anxiety, to fix your life, like, and the choice is yours in the end of the day. But like, my only purpose is to say you have option to change your life. And it's not just like positive information to reduce the stress, to fix imposter syndrome, to reduce the anxiety, to feel confident, to feel better on daily basis. It's just, is this pain that you are going through uh, big enough so you really want to start working on it? Like
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
that's the
yeah, yeah.
only thing.
Yeah, I can like totally relate to that. Yeah, cool.
Because what will be, and a lot of people are saying to me, next month, next year, so, but what is going to be changed, like, and it is like working on yourself is like being the wrong train. Like, as long as you are in the wrong train, as long as it will take to come back on the right path. So, like, waiting will not help you. It will just like destroy your mental health even more because you are in the wrong train, and we need to come back from these months. And then like, so all these kind of like I can't say excuses, but like this is something that people think, and it seems that is easier, like I will work on myself next year, next month, I will read the book, I will listen a podcast. But like, all these things are helpful, but if you are not practically working on yourself, it's like practicing SEO without the website, like just like thinking, reading, like reading the popular. But like, we need to like, okay, what is stressing you today? Check like where all this coming from, fix that belief, and then like you're feeling better. And by every day you're feeling better, better, better.
I can like totally, totally relate to that because like my personal experience. So when I had a job or at some point even two jobs, I was so busy with those jobs and I didn't really have time, or I had an excuse for not like checking in with myself. Then I read a book, I don't remember the title, but it was talking about that there are basically four spheres of life, and in this order they should be considered, which is like self, relationships, fun, and work. And each one ideally should be like 25% of your life. And then you can talk about a balanced life. And I noticed a pattern in myself. So whenever, because it is easy for me to get into this hyper focus and forget about everything for the entire day when I'm doing something in SEO. And if I go like that for a couple of days, I start to really feel not very well. And something that keeps me in balance is always, okay, it's 5 p.m. I finished my work now, and now it's time for the check-in, to do the stuff for myself, on myself, so that the next day my battery is more or less full. So
Uh-huh.
that's something I can totally relate to. Let's talk about one more thing, which is like work-life balance. This is definitely something your clients come to you with, and how did it look for you before quitting, and how does it look now? I know that you now work fewer hours, but other than
Mm-hmm.
that, like,
Yeah, and definitely work-life balance is a big topic. I just want to before ask you, how did you move? Like from position like 0 to 1, working like too much to actually say like, no, my mental health is like more important, because like that is the hardest part for
yeah.
SEOs to move like from the just like working to say like, hey, I want to stop working at 5. Like I want to read a book, I want to start working on myself. How did you decide that? Because that is decision, like it's everything.
Yeah, so many times I basically hit the wall, and I got up the next day. It was like, I don't know, 6 a.m. I worked for an hour and I felt like I have no energy. I don't know what to do. And or I feel very very like depressed, lack of motivation. And then
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I forgot about myself, and I have to like get back to myself and kind of confront myself, how I feel, what my body is telling me, what is trying to tell me. So I think this inability sort of to work was a turning point for me a couple of times. I think the worst situation was, I think, at the end of 2023, when I was like really, really overworked. And then I went for vacation for like 2 weeks and I really rested. And since then, I have been making a lot of progress, but still, I sometimes get back to the old ways because, like,
That is the
but
brain pattern, like it's always coming back. It's always
yeah,
coming back. It's just like practice and experience how you can notice that brain pattern and like say like, like I'm see like this brain pattern, I'm not going in that way because, like I have power over you, not you are taking me. And that is the thing. Basically, all my clients are saying like, hey, I was thinking about few months. Like I got a client that she came from last June, like she was considering mindset coaching. And then she said like, no, I will do that like next year. So basically 12, we missed 12 months, like she could be like a little me, or, like in the terms of like mindset coaching. But people, and like that is like totally normal because like that is a brain pattern. Like we will do it when we are less busy, when we are doing like when we are less tired, and when we have like more time or money. But like no, that is the reason why we need to start doing this. So you are less tired, you are less busy, you are like all this. So that is like coaching. You don't need to fix yourself and then come to coaching because like why? But
It is similar with happiness. So I will be happy when I buy a new car. I will be
yeah,
happy
yeah.
when I buy a new house. No.
No, just like be happy and then buy a house and like car
Yeah.
and everything. And like that is the crucial moment, like decision that you really want to start working on yourself and investing, like in your head, starting with doing with any professional, like. And I really want to come back on your question about work-life balance. That is something that I was kind of like improving last year with my like full-time job. But now I'm practicing again my work-life balance because work-life balance now is so different from the last year.
Yeah.
Like last year I could able to do hit and gym maybe 2 times, 3 times per week. If I'm deciding to go to gym today, I can't make some walking. I can go to the coffee shop in the morning because like. But now my work balance is having okay. First in the morning, having some time for myself, no phones, then walking, then checking like my schedule, emails for a 1 hour, and then going for a coffee shop. Like basically, I'm implementing more things that I want to do in the day because I have more free time. This is something that I'm still, like checking like when the working is good for me. Like before I was working like from 9 to 5. Now I'm working maybe 2 hours in the morning, and then I have calls. Then I'm going to lunch, and then I have calls. So I'm still trying to optimize what is working better for me. I can say that I have like finalized these things because it's just like 30 days and like 50 days, 15 days I
Yeah.
was traveling. So I'm basically 15 days in Bosnia checking, like when I'm going to go out, when I'm going to have calls, when I'm going to work on my business and like all these things. And that is a thing. I can't know that like in the future. Basically, I'm seeing, okay, when I would like to work for something, is it better for me? Like usually I'm more 9 to 12 in the morning working, then I'm having like a break or something, just like going out, doing nothing, or making lunch, going out for a lunch, having coffee, and then maybe another call or two with my clients, and then like resting in the evening. But I'm still fresh in the new work-life balance. But what I'm seeing is actually it's very easy to go in that whole whenever I have free time, just like let's work something,
Yeah. Yeah.
like it's
Been
so
there, done
easy.
that.
And then I realized, no, I don't want to work, like I don't need to work so much because I didn't quit to work more. But like again, I'm human. I'm seeing like all these patterns. Oh, I really need to check my emails, like I'm out or just like I was on the lunch now before this, and like by habit, I check my phone, but like I know that like this is around like 4 or 5, and like, but like that is my habit, checking my phone while I'm out when I was working like full
Yeah. Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Did someone send me a message, email, like shaking something like this. And now I'm again reprogramming myself that, okay, I'm business owner, nobody's checking me. I can like have some time off the phone or something like that. But I'm still learning because this is the new situation for me. And definitely it will be for the next month or two until like I put the structure of what is working for me the best. So the last thing about work-life balance is actually we are trying to fix work-life balance by trying to work less, but it's not working. And I will say why. Because if you are working 12 hours per day or 10, our mind is just can't be so clear to see like what is very good for
Yeah.
us, where we are enjoying. So first step, if you don't have like work-life balance proper, is actually on the another side, contra side, putting some additional activities. Whenever you finish the work, go walking, go with a friend, go do some sport, whatever you want to and like to do, because you are clearing your mind with doing different activities than they are just like working. And then you can see clearly what you are doing at work. You know, like you
Mhm,
can't
yeah.
see what kind of like worker you are until you are working. When you go out, especially if you are working like home, just like going out and then checking yourself what kind of day you had, how much stressed you were, how much anxious, and what you need to change and how you will do it. You know, like
Yeah.
by having other activities. Doesn't matter what it is, just like going out of this remote room where we are working and making decisions from that clearer space had, like what I need to do next.
Yeah, I agree completely. Like for me, I couldn't work without having like a break around like 10 a.m. For either a run or a bike ride. Usually I come back because I when I go for a bike, it is usually a longer one, a couple of hours. So when I get back, I always have a ton of like insights, ideas, and this is exactly what you said.
And you know
Okay.
what you did? And like that's so logical, but we are not thinking. You change the focus, you know, like
Yeah,
when you are running,
change
when you
the
are on the
scenery.
street,
Yeah,
you can't see and think about like all these SEO things, you know, because like you can be in dangers, you can fall. So even changing a small focus is bringing you a new ideas, like you are
a
refreshing your
fresher
energy,
mind, more
and then when
motivation.
you are come back. So basically, work-life balance is helping you to work better and smarter, you know, even like faster because you have clearer mind. That is the only difference.
Yeah, totally, totally. One more thing to add on that, because I have done a lot of marathons in my life,
Wow.
work marathons, running marathons as
Wow.
well, but I mean work marathons. When I was working like for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, every day, and at some point I faced the wall, and I knew that I had to take breaks, and even like one free day in a week changes like everything. So I take a free day, like last Saturday I ran a half marathon, I went for the race, I got back on Sunday, and it was like a new mind. Everything was
Mhm.
like, so this is super important for, especially for people who are independent, because I know they sometimes forget that over weekends, that weekends are there for a purpose,
Yeah.
right?
And that is the thing. If you are overworking when you are like full-time employee, you are going to work crazy when you are consultant, like independent consultant, because you
Yeah,
know, like you just like fulfill all the time, energy, and everything because now it's your business. So you are not quitting your job to work less. You firstly need to work less in your full time because to change that mindset and to really work on the most impactful things in your work, and then quitting. And because like you will just like you're not going to do a favor to yourself if you are, for example, quitting for like these kinds of reasons. Firstly, set up your mindset properly and then go to the next level and next level and next level. Otherwise, you will be just like burned out, stressed, anxious. It will be impacting your mental health even more.
yeah, totally. So there are still so many things we could talk about. And I think we should have a follow up to this because
Yes.
definitely there is so much to add. Okay.
We actually just reopened new topics.
Yeah, we opened like 100 new topics. So, Adriana, where can people find you, follow you if they want coaching?
They can find me on LinkedIn and my YouTube channel. Basically, I'm most active on these platforms. I don't use other platforms as much as these ones. As always, my focus is to reduce what is really working on me. So whoever wants to really make this change, September is great because it's new January. You know, like it's
Huh?
kind of like starting the
Yeah,
school and
yeah.
everything. So we still have time to work on our goals that we, for different reasons, couldn't do. This year was shitty for a lot of people, but like you still have time, you know, like you don't need to wait like for January. You can start working like even next week. You're not late. You're just on your pace.
Yeah. Okay, Adriana. So thank you so much for being my guest, and see you in the next episode, I think.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
calling it.